It's really great to be here at the next conference, and for this conference being formally a birthday party, it's quite impressive how this conference really has grown over the past, I believe, 7 years or so. So for us at Microsoft, and what I want to give you is a short introduction to our new era. So most of you have heard that we go into the devices world, into the services world, and I just want to give you a short update how we see this and how we feel in this new area. Actually, our industry is very much overheated currently in the press. It's at least my impression here, and sometimes it feels like when reading the press articles that innovation is some sort of done yet. So that's not my impression. I think we are really in the beginning of innovation, even though that Apple's last real innovation is already, I believe, 4 years or so ago. There is a lot more to come. And let me start with giving you a couple of examples here. So looking really across all the smartphone platforms, what we see here is buttons, 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 buttons all over the place. Of course, the iPhone was a big disruptor in the mobile industry, I believe 6 years ago or so. Then the iPad, very similar, different form factor, but what we see here is pretty much the same user interface since many, many years with only minor changes, and it's still only buttons. Sometimes they're more impressive than other times, but at the end of the day, that's really buttons. When we have a look on the mobile platform from Microsoft, what we see here is that we also have buttons, of course, but those buttons are pretty much interactive, and the phone as such is very, very personalized. So what you can see here on the buttons, and you as developers or designers can really use those to give the user of the phone information which they would otherwise never get. So this is very interactive, and the phone as such and the mobile platform, as well as the tablet version Windows 8, is some sort of very, very personal. So the devices you're carrying with you and the devices you have in the office are extremely personal. So, and that's what we really care about. It's not the device as such, it's the person, and it's the personalization of the overall platform. Before I get into the next slide, let me quickly ask you a question. Who's having a mobile device, so be it a smartphone or tablet? Okay, almost everyone. So who's got a PC, be it a MacBook, be it a classic PC? Well, same amount. And that's basically also what Mark just said. It's only 5% of users only have mobile devices. And what we have seen 2 weeks ago is basically from IDC and Gartner that the PC should be dead. Looking here in this audience, it doesn't feel that the PC is dead. Yeah, so, and this is really a very heated discussion. Of course, what we see is that overall PC sales in across the world is around 300 million PCs every year. And we see mobile devices selling at 3 billion units a year. Yeah, so it's 10 times what you sell in mobile devices versus the classical PC, but the PC as such is definitely not that, and we've just seen this here in the audience. And the reason why we think it's not the post-PC area, what also Laurent said in the next book, is that we see this as the PC plus area. And PC is not the good old personal computer, but it's personalized computing. And what we mean here is that you can share across all the devices the content you need. And that was a perfect example we've seen just in the ImmoScout presentation, that the user starts in the morning with the mobile, get into the office, use the PC for the apps, and then being in the living room using the smart TV, the Xbox, or the tablet to do browsing. So what we here really see is that the PC is not dead, but we are in the PC Plus era, and we see that the devices, it's the multitude and magnitude of new devices. It's not only tablet, it's the detachables. It's, for example, also our tablet, the Surface Pro, where you can use all the classic apps on a tablet. Yeah? So where in the old days you have to switch devices from the iPad to the PC, with devices like the Surface, you can use the normal apps as well as the mobile apps on a very mobile device. So what I just want to say is Microsoft has changed, and these are really radical changes. It's not just the new design, it's not just the new devices we're in, it's not just the Windows 8 or the Phone 8, but the changes we are going under currently in Microsoft are pretty radical and are core changes to our business model. So it's not only that we have the Windows 8, yeah, and Windows 8 is basically really a reinvention of the Windows operating system. So many of you and most of the press people are bitching around that the start button is missing in Windows 8. Yeah, so I have no clue why someone is missing this stamped start button. Yeah, the only use is to turn off the PC, and there are different ways to do so. So it's not only Windows, it's also Office. Yeah, yesterday I'd been to Quo Vadis and to the matchmaking dinner, and our friends of Unity said how they sell their Unity software, and what they've compared there is to the good old world. So they said, we sell the Unity software like Microsoft Word as a perpetual license in a box. Yeah, hey, this is really old school. Yeah, this is not the way we're going to sell Office in the future, and that's not the way we're going to sell also Office 365 now. Yeah, it's really a service. And on the other hand, what you also see is that there are new devices coming from Microsoft. Yeah, the Xbox, the Kinect systems are pretty much well known. Yeah, we got at least in Germany market share ahead of 30% in the console market. But we also entered the device market by building our first own tablet with the Surface, yeah, which had been released in October, and the Surface Pro coming to Germany within the next 4 weeks. And it's more, it's also the cloud services. Yeah, currently, Microsoft got more than 200 services being born in the cloud. So be it Bing, be it Outlook, be it Skype. Yeah, yes, Skype is a Microsoft product. Yeah, be it Azure, which is now also able to run infrastructure as a services application. So, and all those radical changes really brings us to a new era. It's software, it's services, and it's devices. So, in short, the business we were in yesterday is not the business we are in tomorrow. So, and these are really the radical changes. When we see to our competitors like Apple, Apple is doing most of their profit out of hardware. Yeah, it's not service. The iTunes stuff is basically add-on. They make the money on hardware, on devices. On the other hand, when you see our other competitor, Google is basically in the services market. Yeah, they don't make money, even though that they have acquired Motorola. They don't make money on hardware. They make money on the services and mostly on their ad business. And us being in the middle, we still do most of our revenue out of software, but this will change. We will extend to the right to Google, making more services. We will extend to the left to Apple, making more profit out of hardware. And the software, the good old software in a box piece, will be going down over the next couple of years. So, And what we've seen in the last year is it was clearly the biggest launch year ever for Microsoft. Most of our products have been newly released. So it's not only the Windows 8, the Windows Phone 8, the server products, but also really cool games like Star Wars, Kinect on the Xbox, or Halo 4, which are really great examples of games, but also services. Yeah? So new releases from Skype, the hardware, the Surface release, the Nokia Lumia 920 release, which is really a signature phone and which helps us to get more and more market share in the mobile world. And this will continue. Yeah, this will really continue over the next year, with most likely even more launches next year. So last year we had like 48 launches. Next year there's many more to come. And as we have announced a month ago, the Build Conference in San Francisco from 26th to 28th of June will show what's next really in Windows 8, in Windows Phone 8, on Azure, and clearly also on our DevTools estate. So what's the new area for developers? One, it's really and clearly a new partner approach. When we continue as we did in the past, and Laurent mentioned this in his beginning, we are clearly an underdog in the mobile industry. Yeah? So there are other competitors, and I've named them, which are clearly ahead of us. So we have to do a new partner approach. The good old ISV, which used to build their software based on our software stack, is still a good partner, but we have to cope with the new partners, which are the startups. So we currently are very present in 3 cities, in Munich, in Werk 1, in Cologne, and here in Berlin in the Beta House, to really work with startups on helping them develop their mobile software on our devices and, of course, also on competitive devices. And there's much more to come over the summer period also here in Berlin. The second one is really the support in the breadth and the depth. So, of course, we need to talk about what's possible on our Microsoft platform in the breadth audience, which are really all the developers, all the agencies, but then work very closely together with partners to get really their app done. The third one is really the excellent tool set we have with Visual Studio. So Visual Studio is not only capable of developing apps on our platform, but is also capable of developing Java code. Yeah? So with the Microsoft toolset, you can develop Java. Yeah, of course. So it also got Git integration, which is very well known, and it's a really great tool set to do professional software development. And last but not least, we clearly have very fresh platforms. And I think Touch is one, and Touch is, please forgive me, is old school. Yeah, so we are very much used to Touch. It's 5, 6, 7 years old. But the new generation of user interfaces are clearly those ones which are steered by gestures, by mimics, and also by speech recognition. And that's where we clearly put a focus to develop apps for those new type of user interfaces. Well, what's this? One example for the new approach also with startups and students is our Imagine Cup. 2 weeks ago here in Berlin, we had the German final of our Imagine Cup. Imagine Cup is been running since more than 10 years in over 190 countries, and we are looking for good, fresh, new ideas coming from student audiences. And what we have done this year differently is that we set up a pitching mode like the Y Combinator. So the teams had 10-minute time to present, to pitch their ideas in front of a very well-known audience. And what we got here is a winning team which is called Metabolic. And these guys, these are 4 students, 2 from tech, 1 from doctorate student, and 1 an engineering student, who developed an app for the metabolic syndrome, and using this across all platforms. So they have an app for the phone, they have an app for the tablets, they have an app also for the Xbox, and that's a really, really great story coming from a very fresh and new team. So and that's how I want to finish the presentation, and maybe you got some questions. And please, no roadmap questions.
So thank you very much. Thank you. We'll have one question here at the front. I can pass you the microphone.
Hello, my name is Leonard Diepenbrock. I'm a start-upper doing an app to lead sales forces. My question is, when you point out in the new positioning of Microsoft, it's a bit like, we want to be a little bit like Google and a little bit like Apple. And that sounds counterintuitive to really having a strong brand. You say you're in the middle. Michael Porter might say you're stuck in the middle.
Yeah, so actually what we have seen here is that the world is changing dramatically. Yeah, selling software in boxes is definitely not the business we like to be in the future. So, and that's the reason why we transformed. And we transformed, as said, on the one hand side, really into the hardware market, building out our own devices, and on the other hand, in the services market, building out our own first-party service, as well as giving the opportunities to also service providers like you to use our platform, our brand, for marketing your services. Yeah, it's not stuck in the middle. We've seen that the classic way of selling software is most likely over, and that's why we transform.
Just a final short question. Maybe from myself, Peter, any figures on the Windows Phone 8 and Windows 8 launch? Any fresh figures? I told you I would ask this question on stage.
Might come,
so I warned you.
Yeah, so you want me... overall, what we don't do is disclose individual figures, of course. But to give you an impression, the market share seen by GfK here in the German market has risen by 100% from December to March in Windows Phone. And this is currently close to 5%, and we see it growing currently like hell, I would say. Yeah, so currently we see more demand than supply in the market.
Okay.
So, and Windows 8, some figures to disclose, 60 million licenses sold in the first 3 months, more than 220 million app downloads in the first 2 months, so quite impressive numbers. And if you look just in the German market, and if you look into the numbers, every month, on average, there are 1 million PCs sold still in the German market, and all of them having Windows 8 now. So it's a big and huge opportunity in the market to develop and use our platform.
Okay, thanks very much, and thanks for being on the stage for the first time. Thank you.
Thank you.